Hi everyone, Bren Murphy here. Just introducing the topic today is passion and mindfulness. So I'm just going to give everyone a moment to join. Today I've been planning on talking about passion, which is something that for a lot of people can seem to be the complete opposite of mindfulness. A lot of people see mindfulness to be something that is dispassionate, that is controlled, that is so restrained that it's not actually passionate at all. And then I want to move on and discuss some ways that we can stop crushing our passion, okay? Because passion can be, it's like, the description I like to use is like, it's like a delicate flower, okay? And when you clutch at passion or you're over enthusiastic with passion, the flower breaks and then you're just left with petals in your hand. So we have to observe, encourage our passion and stick with it to keep it going. So the three main things with passion are energy, enthusiasm, and excitement, okay? And my three ones on that note were, I was always a passionate person, but I was trained to not be passionate, if you can understand this. What I was trained to do was to be cool or to be calm or to be restrained or to be mature or to be settled, and I would dial it down and just sit there and go, okay, I can't be too passionate because that will be, well, I don't know, it's not what you do. So I'd always be sitting there, either sort of sitting on my hands or holding it in, not letting it out, and it's just not helpful. So the reality is to go with passion and to actually embrace it and engage it and to ride the wave. That's one of the ideas, is to ride the wave of passion and manage it so that it works for you. And on that note, a lot of people see passion, the definition of passion is that it is a strong, barely controllable emotion. So the words barely controllable hint at fear, something we should be scared of or something we should retreat from or be wary of. When passion actually is such an amazing driving force, it's such a great way to be motivated, such a great way to engage yourself in your projects and your life and your activities. If you're passionate, you hit it with gusto, don't you? You're really connected and it's so much more meaningful, which is a great word. It's meaningful if it's passionate. If you, like I was trained, I learned through family and schooling and education to be dispassionate, and one of the words with dispassionate is the idea of being professional. Okay, I'm always told to maintain professional, to be professional, and to me that the professional thing brings up the idea of like a cold, stony-faced accountant going, I don't know, and being so restrained and so inauthentic and unnatural that it's sort of half dead. So with passion, if passion's the top layer, and then in between there's like a bandwidth. The top bandwidth would be passion, the middle would be just everyday life, and then beneath that is apathy or ignorance or just not paying attention. I'll just say some hellos. I've got Astrid. Hi Astrid. Hi Ainsley. Hi Michelle. Hi Andrew. Fantastic. Thanks for jumping on board. I've got some great content to share today, and I've also just a new thing I've introduced. I've been to the got some sound effects. So I've got a beautiful bell that I use on my mindfulness walks. Isn't that beautiful? And I've also got, hi Vanessa, a bowl, which is an amazing sound. So I might use those to emphasize certain points as we go along. But getting back to passion being a barely controllable emotion, it's as though it's something to fear. The word behind that is the energy, as though we shouldn't show energy when energy is the sort of driving force with everything. And energy is the strength and the vitality and sustained, and it creates light and heat. So let's think about light and heat in terms of mindfulness, in terms of shining our inner light or our warmth of our heart and our inside to warm things up through mindfulness. That's a powerful idea. Also, Sakito, great to see you here. Thanks a lot. With enthusiasm, it was the intensity and the eagerness, okay? And people would say, don't be so keen. It shows like that you're not experienced, or you could be vulnerable to being abused, or people will take advantage of you because you're so keen. And again, so I dial it down from passionate to actually normal, or even apathetic or indifferent. And under the overall message I was getting was that nice people aren't passionate or extreme or genuinely themselves to be nice, to be professional. What you have to do, because passionate people, let's face it, can actually be crazy. Because if you take your passion, dial it up even further, it gets into that, people say that he's so passionate, he's crazy. He's crazy about it. It's a synonym for passionate, isn't it? They go, oh, he's crazy about his hobby, like instead of saying he's passionate. So if we're looking at passion, how do we actually find what our passion is, which is a great thing to harness and to drive and to motivate you on your daily life. If you can engage with your passion more often than just, that's right, Lisa, Einstein was crazy. It's that idea of not being scared of being crazy and just going, look, who's judging me as crazy anyway? If you're not in the ring, if you're not in the heat of battle, like Brené Brown said, if you're just standing on the sidelines, lobbing a comment in, and not actually taking it on yourself, it's actually quite, it just doesn't count really, does it? So with finding your passion, it was about, and it's just a great little 3-step process. It's about clarifying your values. So we ask ourselves questions like, what matters to me? Like when I wake up today, we'll call today Saturday, we'll call today a day off. No plans for the day. So what can I actually say to myself? What would drive me to be engaged and go, yes, I want to go and do, might be go surfing, water skiing, playing tennis. It could be a hobby, it could be painting. Like what drives you? What brings you joy? What do you believe in? That can be how to identify your passion. It's really simple, actually, isn't it? You can actually start bullet pointing it down now. 1, 2, 3, what your passions are, right? So that's the first step. The next step would be, what objects, people and places do you admire? Do you get energy from? Are you drawn to? What places do you just keep finding yourself going back to? Not out of obligation or compulsion or duty, but places you actually want to be. And for me, I'll just keep using myself as an example because I'm here. For me, that's nature, and more specifically my garden. Okay, so I've planted, anyway, around 100 seedlings, trees. I've got them all growing here. So to have that all growing and to have that connection over time and seeing things grow and flourish is really one of my passions. And creates your own natural landscape and your own sort of organic architecture, I guess. And that's something that's really passionate for me. Hi, Cindy and Leah. Thanks for coming along. And Tracy, excellent. So with the third aspect, after clarifying your values, your objects, your peoples and your places, the third one is your superpowers and your strengths. And let's not deny it. Everyone has a strength, okay? On Saturday mornings, I go and do a park run, and my strength isn't running, okay? I'm not. Everyone else is longer and leaner. They've got those long boned legs, and they've been running since they were 12. I smoked for 20, I don't know, a long time. So I was always smoking and having asthma and going, and then smoke, like just amazing. And all that sort of stuff. So it was never my strength, physicality. So now for me to take on running a lot it's not a strength. It's a real challenge. So the feedback is really punishing. But when I do take on my strengths, which are communicating, which are talking with people, which is engaging and enthusing people and sharing the passion, that's when things grow, okay? Well, another thing was my passion with plants and nature. Hi, Bridget, how you going? Great to see you. With plants and nature, I can plant trees and plants and actually grow. You know what I mean? Things grow for me, and animals live, things like that. It's really good. The same with writing. Writing comes natural. I can sit down and write. Hi, Tamara. How you going? So I wanted to go back. We just mentioned before, I posted at my mission. Hi, Rebecca. How you going? My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with passion, compassion, some humour and some style. So that was Maya Angelou. I posted that on Facebook. If we move forward from that, the next one she shared, another quote that I thought was really powerful. Great, Bridget, that's excellent. You can press the little like button, that's it. Good on you, Leah. Press that little blue button. So Maya Angelou, she's a great writer. Another quote, she said, "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." So what we usually see is the end point of passion, okay? Not the process or the journey. And the key point is falling in love with the journey, not the end point. And getting used to going, getting used to going to the gym and driving to the gym and falling in love with that process of the gym, not the actual standing in front of the mirror doing your muscles and all that. It's the process and the actual love of cooking that is the joy, not eating the cake. Okay, that's what we're falling in love with, and that's where bringing your passion to life is about connecting with mindfulness to really bring that home. Okay, and mindfulness, I'll just bring it back, is about enjoying the process. Okay, it's putting extraordinary attention to the ordinary experience of what you are doing. So let's keep going with the gym. When you're at the gym, you're doing sort of those ones. I don't go to the gym, but if you're doing those, or let's even with yoga, when you're doing each pose, you're enjoying the process for what it is, not for the outcome or not for the reward, not seeing it as a transaction where you gain or you get, more of a thing that you do just for the feeling of doing it, just for doing the process is the joy. Okay, that's what it is. It's really powerful for me. And as you do the process, hi John, great to see you. I'll just quickly decoy. John sent me a great book on mindfulness. He wrote, it is Mindful Actions. I know it's coming out reversed, but it's a great read. John, you can put a link underneath how to get a hold of your book. Thanks a lot for that. Anyway, mindfulness is about, as you get used to that process and the journey, you'll get into a flow state. And flow, I have the book here if you don't. Anyway, it's in the other bookshelf. It's Sis Michaeli. Someone told me. Hi Maureen. Hi Kristen. Hi Kyle. It's about getting into that state of enjoying the process so intimately because you're so passionately connected that time actually starts to bend and time blurs and you're just in a state, it's a flow state, and it's so beautiful, okay? It's that, you go to a yoga class, that's where I sort of achieve it best, and you can pop in after about 3 or 4 minutes and I can just stay for the full 90-minute class and go, oh, it's over already, and that's I've been in the flow state, so it's just profound. You might get it cooking, you might get it playing with your train set, it might be in any other way, or creating music or playing music, running. That's a flow state is so powerful. So what we're doing with passion is combining our passion, the genuine thing is to combine our passion with our purpose. So if we can put our life purpose, hi Patty, and what we're doing with our passion, it's like passion plus purpose equals, and the equal sign leads to the word power. Okay, you become fearless, you become courageous, brave and strong. And those words are, when you see people making amazing progress on it might be their career or their art or their creativity, and that's when they've combined their passion and their purpose and their strengths, and they're hitting that powerful moment. It's really powerful, okay? What I'd like to say is, now I've got like 7 simple points, just quick bullet points for you to take away with you today, and you can even just use them in the next hour or so. I'd really think that is a great way to do it. If you can learn things and apply them as you're learning them, as I think we're all adults learn that way really powerfully if we can do experiential learning, okay? So what we're doing with mindfulness and passion. So we're going to feel the passion, which is so intense, and it's such a all-consuming body feeling, but then we're going to step back just a touch and be mindful about it, okay? Because being mindful when we're lost in passion is extra challenging. That's why beginning mindfulness, it's advised to strip it right down to its bare bones and sit, hi Jeanette, and sit on a nice, just maintain an erect posture and begin that way with just as minimal distractions as possible. But if we can dial it up and be passionately connected with our mindfulness, that's when I felt the most engagement and I've noticed dramatic changes. So let's see if we can bring that to your mindfulness practice. Instead of seeing it, I know it's often promoted or shared as being stillness and silence, let's dial it up with your passion and bring that, your mindful awareness to your passion, okay? So we're tuning into ourself. That's number one. Really simple, tune into yourself. Number two is tune into your body, okay? And generally, that for me is through breath. And if anyone saw the video earlier this morning, I've been tinkering with not using, I've had asthma like all my life, and I'm trying to come off that medication. So I'm trying to tinker with that, and it's very challenging. So tune into your body as well. Now we're going to go, we've gone from self to body. Now we're going to tune into your dreams, okay? So we're going up to the mind. And then we're going to take a sacred pause, which means a sacred pause is pausing in the moment whilst you're doing it. And let's go straight to everyday hub noises of sitting in traffic and going, and someone triggers you with some little traffic thing that isn't, you feel aggrieved by. What you do is you can go take a sacred pause instantly and go, I forgive them, I'm not going to see them again, they're not doing it to harm me, and step back and be mindful and offer them acceptance and forgiveness instantly. The sacred pause is beautiful for what I like to say is instant forgiveness. So when you're crossed or wronged or hurt, or literally as you're touched, you forgive them before if they punch you, you forgive them before their body stops touching you. So you instantly forgive them. And then the sixth one was flipping your destructive thoughts into creative thoughts. So instead of going, nah, too bad, I'm too tired, I'm going to lie on the lounge and take it easy, actually say, no, I can go for a walk, or I can, contribute or further help myself. Overall, mindfulness and passion is about, the whole concept is mining the gold within you. And mining the gold, I was taught early in, it's sales related, is that you have to dig a lot of shovels of dirt to find one diamond, okay? Roughly, let's say there's 72 digs to find one diamond. So if you're only going to do 36 and go, oh, it's probably not working for me, or how people say, yeah, it's not for me, diamond mining. But you've only done 36 digs. Let's keep going to 72, and then it's only an average, it might take you 132, but you've got to do the work of 72 times to actually think you'll get anywhere near a diamond. So if you want 3 diamonds, you're looking at 16 digs, aren't you? So that's the thing, you've got to dig, lots of digging to find one diamond. So how do we avoid crushing our passion? Well, it's a nice Buddhist tenet, which is not wanting, okay? You probably don't need it, okay? Which can be challenging. Not grasping and not clinging, or not having the word should. If we can go in with a scalpel and just cut that out of our vocabulary and not use should, okay? So we're not grasping, we're not clinging, we're not wanting. Instead, replace it with acceptance, which means, it doesn't mean accepting poor treatment, it just means accepting and going, okay, here we are. And this is it. It's not good or bad, you're not judging it or anything like that. The next thing is going to, hi Kristen, thanks for your thoughts, is compassion. And compassion is a tricky word because it's almost been hijacked by charities or religious things or deaths and things. if we can sort of go back into compassion and see that actually compassion is, again, self-acceptance and acceptance of others, and understanding that people have come from different or challenging backgrounds, and they could be having just to leave the house for some people is an amazing achievement, let alone doing anything else. Like just to leave the building can be an amazing achievement. Okay, I'm just going to ring the bell. There we go, just to clear the air. Okay, and this point 2 with how to avoid crushing your passion is the illusion of perfection. I posted yesterday about progress versus perfection, okay? And we're all focused on progress. We're not focused on perfection. So if there's another word, you can get the scalpel out and excise it from your vocabulary. It is perfect. We don't need to be perfect. It's not helpful. We're not doing perfection, and we're not doing should. The word is the illusion of perfection. It's an illusion. It's a marketing trick. It's an idea that we have to keep striving for this thing, when if you actually look at yourself, or if I went and saw what you're up to, it's probably pretty amazing. Okay, you're probably getting 85 out of 100 as it is. You don't need all this other things, or you don't need to keep going or over striving. It's overreaching. I remember with my practice at yoga, I would overreach and make it into just a real mind physical struggle, and it was like I was in a boxing match, a 12-round fight to the death, and my yoga teacher would say, come on, just step back even 20% and enjoy yourself, okay? Give yourself some compassion. That's the truth. So we're not, with perfection, some of us think we're entitled to be perfect, or that one day we will be perfect, and that's just not true. You'll never be perfect, okay? You're flawed. Part of the human design is inbuilt flaws, and that's what makes you beautiful as well. Having those inbuilt flaws are unique character things, and to have oh, it's good seeing my tooth, how it's bent. I was always told that's character building, have a crooked tooth. And it saves the parents getting braced. But yeah, so things like that, it's about giving up on the illusion of perfection and letting go of the entitlement to perfection, because we all think the customer is right from something, and it's not. The person is just preparing your meal, and you're not entitled to this 6-star service. You're just not. You're not entitled to it. It doesn't have to be perfect for you. And again, the remedy is acceptance. Okay, so acceptance has come up twice there, but also it is about letting go of perfection, letting go of the myth or the illusion of perfection. Donna, great to see you here. Hi, Yolanda, thanks for coming. Yeah, letting go is great, an awesome mindfulness benefit, because as you're practicing mindfully, you can actually go into that thing you're letting go of, which might be the idea of perfection, and saying, no, I may not be my goal weight. I might be 6% overweight or 9% overweight or whatever it is, but all things considered, I'm still a good person. It doesn't make me any less able to present on the day. Hi Alexis, how are you going? Okay, so acceptance again. Now the third one is connecting with your passion. So it's about connection. It's about making it meaningful, authentic, connected, okay? So we've found our passion. We discussed that earlier on. Now, how do we connect with our passion? So it genuinely means leaving the house and meeting a group of like-minded people is a great way to do it. And you just see how average and normal they are. And with your passion, instead of going, oh, my passion, and having it this elusive thing off in space, come down to earth and connect with people who share your passion, which is by meeting them in real life, and you go, oh, wow. And once you're in that little ecosystem of your passion, you're a nicer person. You're passionate, you're present, you're engaged, you're enthusiastic, you've got energy, you're excited. Like you're good. You're better to be around. Okay, instead of thinking you have to go to something that is sort of the stock standard thing you do. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, it just strip it all back. Everything comes back to just unpicking those layers and coming down and going, oh, this is all it need be. It doesn't need to be so hard. It doesn't need to be so challenging, because we've sold the myth a lot that difficulty is more satisfying. The more difficult it is, the more satisfying it'll be. And I see it with friends I run with, and they go, hi Shauna, they say, I'm going to run 32 kilometers next week. And another one goes, I'm going to run 50 kilometers. And another one goes, I'm going to run 100 kilometers. And what I'm saying is, you don't get triple double. You get to a state of the flow state and you enjoy the process, whether you're running 5 kilometers, 12, 16, 27, 32, 50 or 100, okay? But after that, it actually becomes a bit about ego and carrying the, wearing the medal and bragging to people that you've sort of done that. But initially you can still get in the flow state very simply. Don't treat it as though it's something elusive and out of touch. You probably notice getting into the flow state, you actually don't notice it. That's the thing. You go, oh, was that it? Like you notice it by it not being there, by not by it being present, by being absent. Hi Daniel, thanks for tuning in. So connecting with your passion is about movement and getting up. And there's a great one, is motion releases emotion, okay? Motion releases emotion. So by moving, and I'm not saying this has to be running or yoga, but it can be just moving to go to an event and being a part of that community, that tribe, can be really powerful. So can it break, because the opposite of connecting with your passion is procrastination. It's analysis paralysis, to use a great phrase. Instead of connecting with your passion, you go, wait a minute, I'll actually just keep it in my mind and keep processing it and slice it and dice it another way, and you just stay at home on the couch, you're still thinking about it, when you could actually have gone to the event. There's free events you can go to and met people and engaged in your passion and be doing it. So remember, connecting with your passion is simple as getting it and doing it, okay, and not delaying it. And right, it's Saturday morning. Hi Donna, great to see you. I'm quite confident now, if you got online now, you could find an event connected to your passion probably today somewhere, or a location connected to it, and be doing that after lunch this afternoon and really connect with it and go, oh wow, I'm here, and go, but why can't I go? Instead of making excuses that you have to clean or delay, go and connect with your passion today. Like, you've got the rest of the day to do it. And the final one is that destroys passion is doubt and skepticism and being cynical and being pessimistic and retreating into your safety zone, okay? And treading water or staying on a treadmill thinking, and a great one for me was, I used to go, if I stay in, I'll save some money and I'll pay off that car loan sooner, and then when I paid off the car loan, then I can go rock climbing or whatever it was. But it was actually just me delaying living life and getting out and connecting with my passion. And I would get, and you do that for weeks or months on end, and you get to a point of, you're sort of withdrawn and you're just on a treadmill. You're a human, an organic body working against a financial instrument, chipping down the numbers, which is great, you can do it. But it does give you a sense of satisfaction for sure. I actually got letters from the bank saying, oh, you're a great payer and can we give you more money and all that, and you think, oh, is that it? Like, it was really deflating to go, oh, right. So that, you know what I mean? Like, I got a massive, could borrow heaps and heaps of money by maintaining that lifestyle. But the point is, I was living in a safety zone and delaying it. And we can do that. We can hoard wealth and money, saying one day we will travel, or one day we will move to a better place, or finally follow our passion. But in the moment, mindfully, each day by day, you're not connected with your passion directly. You're side-swiping it off to pay off this financial instrument with your life, okay? And you're not fun to be around if we're all just paying it down. Good day, Shannon. Great to see you. So what the remedy for being caught in your safety zone is to let it go, get over yourself and go and just approach it with a sense of playful curiosity. And they're great words. I want you to sort of write that down. I haven't seen anyone have that tattooed on them. Playful curiosity. So what that means is when you're a child learning to do handstands, you go, oh, I'll give it a go. And you do it, you fall over, you splat on your face, and you go, okay, I'll try again. And it's embarrassing. And you make a fool of yourself, and you've probably got a bit hurt, you've got your clothes dirty. But the point is you kept going because it's just, you're curious to feel what it's like to go upside down. And you're playful, you do it. And guess what? Soon enough, you know how to be playfully curious. But you bring that same sense of wonder and awe and being in the moment and the mystery of exploring, bring that to things like your passion. So if you're passionately connected with your, let's say, animals, and you're working as a dental assistant, you can find a way to passionately connect with animals on the weekend, which could be, what could it be? Okay, what could it be? That's your thing to go, okay, and you get out a pen and paper and you write down a list and you brainstorm it and you go, all right, there's 7 things, and then you cut it in half. You go, all right, there's 3 left, and you could probably go in the next 7 days or 24 hours. Which one of these could I implement? And you go, all right, I'm going to go today to the animal shelter and volunteer, or find out if I could help them distribute some pamphlets or help them build a website. Or do you know what I mean? That you can take direct action on your passions and be connected, and you'll meet people in your passion in the moment, and that's where mindfulness comes in as a backdoor add-on. It's not like you're targeting mindfulness and grasping at mindfulness itself. Mindfulness will come as one of the benefits of being connected with your passion. And that's what I wanted to talk about here today, was just getting back to the basics and saying passion is mindfulness is a thing that comes in after passion. And we all go, oh, and it's almost, a lot of us don't feel worthy of pursuing our passions and connecting with it, because we can't do it because we're not rich enough, we haven't got a relationship yet, haven't got a partner, I need to do the kitchen up before I can have friends over, we just put a little qualifier in front of actively doing it, so we just delay our passion, and in the meantime the flower of our passion just wilts, and it does, over time it wilts, and you can't tell me 20 years later of having a wilted passion flower that you can just spark it back to life, spritz some water on it, and it'll go, oh, here we are again, because you've missed all that development, right? And that's what we want. We want to connect with our passion as soon as possible, even in it doesn't matter how significant, it doesn't have to be adopting pandas in another country with animals. It can be a really subtle shift to engage it and then build on that. So go 6 months of just volunteering at the animal shelter, and then it'll organically unfold anyway, and you can connect more and more. Yes, Bridget, that's great. And resistance is the great masquerade. It's not as in masquerade ball, a big mask of resistance. So I've really covered a lot today. I just wanted to let you know I've got a YouTube live channel as well. So I've got 160 subscribers. It's Bren Murphy 1 if you're looking for it. I wanted to do some YouTube live because it's just a different format. But yeah, the main thing I wanted to share with you today was passion. The definition of passion is strong, barely controllable emotion, okay? But not to fear it. Don't fear your passion. It's surrender to your passion. That's what we're saying. We're surrendering to your passion, because from your passion, so much can come, okay? Hi, Gina Marie. Great to have you here. From your passion, that's everything will flow afterwards. And if you're blocking your passion, if you're resisting it because you've got some limiting belief, or you've framed it in a certain way that you're not allowed to have it yet, you're missing out on so much color, so much vibrancy that's available to you. Life can be so much, and the motivation and the energy just makes life, you're bursting through. It's like, I was explaining it for when I'm really tired with running, it's like a rubber band coming out just here under this breastbone, pulling you forward. So instead of thinking you have to push yourself to run, you're actually being drawn. And that's what your passion does for your motivation. It can really bring you forward. Yeah, Lisa's saying surrender to your fear. It's surrender to your fear, like without, just surrender to it and know that it's gonna be these feelings of anxiety and uncomfortableness and indigestion, they're really gonna go, they're just messages saying, wow, we're out into new territory. And it's called, you're growing, right? It's called growing pains. When we have growing pains, it's painful to grow. And that's where it's following your passion. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up now. I've just got the final couple of words to say. We've got passion, and it's not to be feared, okay? It's not to be avoided. Next time someone says, oh, you're crazy, that's over the top, or that's too much. It's never too much, okay? You can be mindful of who you share it with. That's more the point. If someone's informing you that your thoughts are crazy or they're over the top, maybe you should give them some space and sort of, can be selective with who you allow into your tribe, because they do radiate and you do bounce off each other, and we want to maintain our passion and our mindfulness practice as well. Great, thanks a lot everyone. I'll be back next Saturday at 11 a.m. It's been an awesome experience. Thank you very much. I'll ring the bell. I'll do the bowl one more time. Thank you. See you later, guys.